welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Discipline Therapy Podcast. I'm your host, EL Discipline, alongside me is Suhey Sotomayor. You guys, if you're looking at us on YouTube, not just listening to us, Spotify, Deezer, Castbox, Apple,
iHeartRadio.
iTunes, iHeartRadio, you see extra chairs here. You see extra microphones. We got a couple of guests coming through. Maybe.
Yeah,
You know
they're
what
a
I'm
little
saying?
late now, but
Can't always guarantee everybody's gonna come. A lot of strong views here.
yeah,
You know, it's an acquired taste podcast.
definitely.
But we always structure our show around topics in case stuff like this happen. We've had no calls, no show.
Yeah,
Most
you'll
of the
never
time
know.
these people like come to us.
Yeah,
Especially
99.9% they hit
Like,
us up.
we want to be, don't forget to put me on there. Or
Mm-hmm.
they'll tell me things like, oh, I want to start a podcast too. I've always wanted to. I'll ask them, how do you think of doing it?
Yeah,
Just doing Instagram lives,
probably.
Facebook lives? Like, there's a lot of work in this. You want to put it? Discipline, consistency, accountability, responsibility. Do you want to invest or not? Do you want to go to a studio that has these props?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to hire an engineer, a videographer? All these things I do myself. Do you want to do that
Mm-hmm.
to get into this, or is it just gonna be the easy route? You could do Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Is it gonna be, um, Instagram Live?
Mm-hmm.
Things of that nature. Because you could do a podcast like that.
Yeah, you can.
Um,
Are you gonna buy your own stuff and do it at
yeah,
home?
yeah. Are you gonna invest monetary? Because you're investing in every way.
Yep.
But are you gonna invest in the equipment?
Exactly.
The props, monetary.
Exactly.
So, I'll ask them all. They're not ready for it. I bet you most
They're
podcasts
probably
don't.
like, what?
Don't tell them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I always ask them when they tell me that. I always ask them, well, what do you want to do? Because I could help you start it. Got a lot of experience doing this already.
Yeah.
But it comes down to what you want, what you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a single mom and you want to do this, like, how consistent are you willing to be? Like, if you tell somebody a time, can you hold yourself accountable to that? Because there's going to be people that's going to tune in. Everybody tunes in at 9 o'clock on the dot.
And how often are you gonna put it out?
I'm not saying they tune in at 9 o'clock on the dot,
Right.
but we're always here
Mm-hmm.
at that time. So are you willing to do that? Because that hurts business too. So it's different, with two races too, sometimes.
That's true.
White people don't play. They don't play with their money. They don't play with their time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it depends, what you want to do and how you want to go about it. But sometimes it's kind of like, you look at it, it's like easy. Like, a lot of people think what we do is easy. Natural, right? If I'm watching a movie and I see the man flying the plane and I played, my point of view, like Call of Duty, whatever they do, and I'm driving the plane, my point of view, I'm just gonna be thinking, yo, put me there in real life. Give me headphones, give me walkie, this like the video game. This is like the film, and it's not what people think, like the focus, he can't be inebriated. He got a lot of people's lives on his hands. It's a lot of work.
It's also like,
if you're not in it,
podcast, holding the conversation or coming up with good, topics.
It depends. That's another thing too.
I'm
Like,
bad at
dude,
that.
that's another thing too. Not everybody's doing that, so
Yeah.
don't make it subjective. That's another thing too. I would ask: do you want to do what we do, or do you want to do it specifically around one topic for your hometown podcast? Do you want to make it about religion? Do you want to make it about politics? Are you trying to avoid those things because those are
Right.
sensitive topics and you might tear people away? But you want everybody to come in. It's inclusive. So you don't want to talk about those things because you're gonna hurt the right people. Even though you have your views, you don't want to give it because it's gonna be like, well, it's not right, and then you create this thing, and then you lose sponsors, you lose people. Like, are you willing to go through all that? Because you're gonna, depending on what you want to say, you're gonna gain and lose.
That's true.
So is that what you're willing to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you have strong views pertaining to the dating market, are you also willing to have certain people walk away?
Mm.
Certain people gonna come to you, maybe your man or your woman at home. Oh, this is how you really think when you never talk to them about it.
There we go. Great. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, so all of that plays a factor. All right. So you're gonna get into all the shout outs and stuff, and then we talk about the topic. Shout out to Center Stage Music Studio, Joe.
He's the
And
best. He'll take care of you.
ladies and gentlemen, you know, you're back for the intensity, the passionate, the colossal, the stimulating conversations after dark. You know, we are here to serve,
Mm-hmm.
not please. You know, and y'all are back because y'all are fiends. So you were serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy when not everything is completely free because we're on Patreon for a plethora of exclusive content for you to see. But what is free is judgment free, sucker free, censor free, sensitive free, and some liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or my favorite roll of blunt. But make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vulgar conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed like one up. Inhale life and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast. We're here.
So you know what we do before we begin? We're gonna do the little clearing of the energy.
Dope, dope. Okay. About to get into this one.
Oh,
All right.
sounds like it's gonna be spicy. All right, so links are in the description below. How to become part of our Patreon family and subscribe for exclusive contents, bloopers, behind the scenes, Mr. EL Discipline solo lectures of discipline therapy talk, his BDSM content, erotica posts, and writings by Mr. Discipline. We also have his masterclass and workshops. Full video are uploaded there. We have some collaboration shows pertaining to more sensitive topics such as rape, sexual abuse, domestic violence, transgender, child abduction, all types of conspiracy theories, and then other shows with myself and Mr. Discipline. So, once again, that is patreon.com/ the Discipline Therapy Podcast. Also available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com. Electronic versions are Mr. EL Discipline's 7 published books. So we have them out. Like I wrote them. He has them out, and they're available for purchase right now. Once again, all of the links are in the description below the video. And for our online store for merch, that is disciplinetherapy.launchcart.store/shop. We have new gear that hits every month. We have different categories for the home, for the car, for your feet, clothing, you name it. We got it. Check it out. And also, if you want to catch us visually, we're on our where is this? YouTube.
YouTube.
We're on our YouTube page. And for those who like to hear us on the go, you can check us out on wherever you get your audio entertainment. We're on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Deezer, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Come on, Lions Mane. What's the other one?
Castbox.
I'm gonna say Castbox. Okay. No, I said that.
Yeah.
Overcast.
Okay.
And many, many more.
I'm leaving that in there
What?
because you should know better.
Man.
The YouTube.
I was like, what are we on?
All right.
All right.
So, season 16. Excuse me. Episode 168. Is it a lack of masculinity in the world or a lack of authority?
All
All
right.
right.
Is there a lack of masculinity in the world or a lack of authority? You know what? There's both, because if you don't have masculinity, then you don't have authority. If you're not a masculine type man, what authority do you have?
One.
Dang. Masculinity.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't believe that because you could be masculine and don't have authority.
Who, where?
Huh?
Like, give me an example. You're good at that.
Um, law enforcement. In order for you to beat law enforcement, you gotta get on the side of law enforcement.
I don't know
Like
if
if
they're
there's if
masculine.
there's a racist cop out there who just not having a good day and giving me an unlawfully, you know, unjust ticket, I'm gonna get my lawyer and now they're gonna battle. I'm gonna win it. So I can't do that by myself, especially as a black man. I don't care how educated I'm speaking and whatnot. I show my accolades. They're still seeing the color of my skin. It's law enforcement, the judge, and the police officer that stick together. So I don't have authority there, technically speaking. But I'm
Gotcha.
masculine.
Yes.
You get with a masculine woman, you're bringing everything as a man. We're going to get into it. And she is telling you, even indirectly, you're not going to have authority here.
Mm.
So that's a situation.
This is what he does, people. He makes you see where
So
the
for
other
me,
stuff is.
yeah. So for me, do I believe is it a lack of masculinity in the world or a lack of authority? Authority. Now, back in the days, obviously, like I would say, like because it's just one thing choosing here,
Mm.
right? It's just if you ask me, is there a lack of masculinity in the world, and that was it, all the topic would be, I'll be like, hell yeah,
Mm. But
because
it's
of
one
what
or
I'm
another.
seeing, absorbing, seeing how different countries operate and whatnot. Some of it is even getting into other countries. You know, not every country is like that's out of the Western hemisphere is really about inequality. You know what I'm saying? Like used to be. Others are strict and not changing, but you know, they got others that is slowly transitioning into there. So I would say that. But
Mm.
when you're giving me a choice of apple and orange,
Mm.
you know, now I'm like, okay, I gotta choose because I can't pick both. Hold myself accountable, just like I hold you and the guests. They gotta choose one. It's so easy to just say both.
Mm. That's true.
So for me, it's the lack of authority.
Mm.
I gave you the two scenarios already,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's like, you know, like you were saying, damn, you know, it's helping me reach an epiphany.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is. So it's general. It's not specifically authority in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's general. So, you know, when we look at that, that's why I believe what I believe. Because like a man can bring all the masculinity there, but he has no authority. Dating a single mom.
Mm. That's
I
true. No
don't
authority.
normally date a woman with kids. Technically, I don't date them with kids. Now, I dated women with old young adults. You know what I'm saying? I dated women with young adults. They're on their way out. But I don't date women with kids because I'm greedy with my time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come second. Yo, we had plans this weekend. Oh, things came up. The baby daddy's acting up. Da, da, da. Yo, how much am I gonna tolerate that? Because that's me like giving up control.
Mm.
How long am I gonna tolerate that? Eventually, she's gonna make me blow up. Be like, this is not gonna work. Because every time we got something going on, this happens or whatever. It's not gonna work with the
Mm.
single mom. So that's why one of the reasons why I don't date single moms
Mm.
with kids. Make
That
it
makes
really
sense.
technical.
Yeah.
Kids,
Mm.
4 years old, 5 years old, like they still depend on you. Not they're 18, they could watch themselves.
Mm.
So not 21 on their way out.
That's
Not
crazy.
17, they could watch themselves.
Right.
You know? So I don't date a woman with kids. 5 years old, 6 years old, 4 years old, 7 years old. Like I don't do that because I already know that's number one. Number two, the authority. Like this is a scenario.
Right.
Date the single
Another good
mom.
one. Yeah.
Date the single mom, and it's like now everything's good in the beginning. Oh, don't worry, he got his own dad or whatever. But this guy's a different guy.
Mm.
I'm not saying me just because I'm pointing to me. Let's talk about another guy. I mean, Kevin came on here.
That's right. Yeah.
Kevin, the guest. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about whomever, right? So that guy is saying, okay, I'm still traditional and we're connecting. This is not so much of a deal breaker because I'm seeing other great qualities there.
Mm-hmm.
She's allowing me to lead in the dynamic. Now it's like, okay, so that's a green flag, green light. Now he finally meets the child or
Mhm.
children. And don't worry about it. You don't have to feel overwhelmed or whatever it is. They got their own father. He's in his mind like, I'm accepting you. Like eventually I'm gonna accept them as mine
Right.
and provide for everybody.
Mhm.
We're gonna be all one big family. Because it's what he knows, that man. You get into a situation because a lot of things always occur when arguments, we're both angry at each other. So
Mhm.
that's when the real is out. So now you guys get into an argument. Maybe not even that. It's just a disagreement,
Mhm.
minor. And he's like, well, you know what? If I was his father, this is what I would do. Or he should learn how to do this. Who's teaching him? And her reaction is, you don't have kids yet. He got his own father. I told you that when you first started dating. Indirectly, she's telling you, you don't have any authority here. That's
Mhm.
my son.
Yep.
I'm going to discipline him how I want. That's my son. So the man is still coming in being masculine and willing to do all these things, provide and protect, and take on people that he feels is providing and protecting them, right? Because he believes like, oh, they're inferior, they need my guidance, stuff of that nature. But there's a lack of authority there. And the woman is saying it directly or indirectly,
Mhm.
whether it's her actions, her body language,
Yep.
what she's withholding. So
Definitely.
that's how I feel like, you can have
No, it makes sense.
you can have that or and not. Or
You could be masculine but not have authority. Yeah.
no. Or you can have authority but you're not masculine.
Yeah. Like
Like a woman.
cops. I said like cops.
Yeah. Some. Let's not generalize. Because
I
my
know. I know.
cousin, my best friend are cops.
No.
I know I'm good friends with a lot of lawyers and, law enforcement and stuff.
I know.
So um so some, we'll say
Mhm.
most. We'll say most.
Okay, most is
Most
good.
of them are dirty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They work with cartel and shit too. Mafia. Dirty. Taking money under the table and stuff like that. What we see in movies is a fact. It's true.
Yeah, where they get
So,
it from?
yeah, so they're dirty.
Mm.
Where that money going? In the evidence room? It's just staying there?
I have an evidence room in my house. Let's bring it there.
So most of them are dirty. There's a good that really, really followed that code when they took that oath. They really follow it with integrity.
Mm.
So that to me is like the masculinity because
Mhm.
they're a man of their word, whatnot, or whatever it is. So it's like, but you could be in a situation where it's like, yes, the cop situation has authority, but not masculine. Maybe when he goes home too,
Mhm. Never know.
wants to be spanked, choked, manhandled by the woman. You know what I'm saying? Operative word, manhandle. But a woman is doing that to you. That's like off. It's out of nature.
That's also like how you said a woman. She can be masculine but has no authority.
Yeah.
Or authority. I don't know. Something.
She could have authority but not masculine.
Mm.
Cause like technically speaking, she's not like masculine. She's just upping her masculine energy.
Right.
So like when we look at it, say, oh well, masculine woman, it's like she's doing what a man is doing, thinking what a man is doing and stuff like that. But
Right.
technically, right? Okay, because I believe man is private parts and
Mhm.
like testosterone and all that. Okay, so that's a scenario. What else? Authority and masculinity. So law enforcement is gone, like governors and shit like that want to be dominated by their wife, that not the head of the household in their household. Um. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our guest here. Well, one of them. We had two. But we'll take it. Shout out to Prince Kelz.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Just talk a little bit about what you do, and then any handles, social media, whatever, and then we're gonna get into the topic.
Okay, my name is Prince Kelz. I'm a wealth and life coach.
Ooh.
I help the youth get their credits established, help them find jobs, help them get off the streets and know that there's more things out there than just selling drugs or playing basketball. The normal statistic that the culture puts on black people and for them to live up to. I let them know that there's other ways out there. My nonprofit organization is called Black Shall Never Kill Black.
Mm.
And if you want to donate or fund, help the cause, you can contact me at Prince Kelz on Instagram and Gmail as well. Thank you.
How do you spell Kelz? With a K? C?
Kelz.
Oh, see, I thought it was Kells. See, that's good.
Okay, yeah.
Let me ask you a
Mhm.
question in regards to that, and then we'll jump in the topic. Do you help them, like, let's say a youth that's coming home from prison or something like that? Do you help them find jobs and stuff like
Yes,
that?
help them find jobs, mostly in like the carrier fields.
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
people know about like Uber Eats, DoorDash. There's
Mm-hmm.
other carrier fields that they can get into as well. Other like apps where they can deliver medical equipment or like grocery like inventory for supermarkets or grocery stores.
So you help them set that up and
Set
stuff?
that up
That's
or
amazing.
help them develop small companies, help them establish business along with business credit as well. So we basically just want to uplift the youth. If they get out of jail, perfect. I'm just trying to teach what I know to a younger generation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said for your nonprofit, you said, did you give the IG handle and all that stuff?
My nonprofit organization is called Black Shall Never Kill Black.
Okay, and what other handles can they find you on IG and
The fastest way to find me is on IG.
on IG? Okay.
Yes, Prince Kelz at Prince Kelz.
Okay, good.
What like I know why you're doing it, but what pushed you to do it? So there's like two whys for us having like a purpose. Because your main why is like the youth, and you believe the next generation is paramount, and learning and growing, and you want to help. But there's a second why. If some people go through a midlife crisis, some people go through a life-threatening experience where they change and they want to do things
Mm-hmm.
for other people or whatnot. So I'm just giving you an example. Like, what pushed you to want to do that?
Basically, honestly, it was Black Lives Matter. I
Mm,
kind of wanted to be their Coca-Cola, a Pepsi company.
mm,
Black Lives Matter. I feel like they're more of a reaction group, and I feel like we need a prevention group. Like
Mm.
you go save your car to prevent your car from breaking down. You go get an oil change, correct?
yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like Black Lives Matter. They more after something happened, they
Then they
go
come on.
protest what's
Mhm.
going on, which
Mhm.
is counterproductive. I think you should do things to prevent
Beforehand.
things from actually happening.
Yeah.
Figure out why these people are reacting this way towards the police, or why these kids are getting into trauma, and prevent it from happening instead of
Mhm.
going to go protest and do whatever they do after the fact of things are happening. So we're mostly prevention because
Mm,
you can't just have black people can't just have one organization.
Mhm.
But there's multiple
Right.
avenues. Just hey, we already have Black Lives Matter. Now
mm,
we need a
Exactly.
Coca-Cola a Pepsi to their Coca-Cola.
Right.
mm. Okay, cool. All right.
Where
I
are we bringing it back
I like that.
to the beginning?
I like it. I
Oh,
like
thank
what
you,
you're
thank you.
doing. Um, all right. So season 16, episode 168. We started this a little bit prior to you coming here, and we're going to like
Well, we
bring
only
it
got
back.
up to one. We
One
didn't-
bullet.
Yeah, we only did one, so that's
Okay.
good.
So the topic is it a lack of masculinity in the world or a lack of authority? And you can't say both. You got to pick one.
Well, I feel like it's clear that it's a lack of masculinity because if you do the breakdown, women raise the kids. Most like 50% or maybe higher of men, especially in my community, are raised by single mothers. Then they go to school and they're raised by probably 75% females. And
Teachers.
so yes,
Mhm.
so they the black, not just specifically on the topic of black people in general, men in general are nurtured, taught by women. So when they go up and a man tries to strike authority on them or masculinity, they don't know how to react towards.
Mhm.
They're not around masculinity. So I feel like it's just a straight lack of masculinity, and even if you're too masculine, they kind of make you feel, society kind of makes you feel like you're
Like that's
doing something
bad.
wrong.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I was saying that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so how do you? I don't. We don't. Okay, so let me break down the rules. We don't debate here.
Yes.
We share a panel discussion, my perspective, your perspective. If there's another guest, their perspective, Suhei's perspective, and then we rock like that. I don't like to debate. I think it's kind of like it could be a waste of time, could be a good debate depending on what you're talking about. But we mainly bring guests here to give them a platform so they can articulate their views and if they want to share their business or whatnot. I just have one question pertaining to that because you were saying about, well, yes, what you're saying is right. 50% or I don't know the percentage. We could just say mainly the child is being raised by the
Mostly
mom.
females, right?
I think nurtured. We could say raised, but I think nurturing. Now, how do you explain back in the days, like the ancient Egyptians? How can you explain like back in the days when there was masculinity there? Like, because if it's still like the mom is home and the father is out, so, and then when they go to school, predominantly teachers are female, where are men getting the masculine part? Like boys to be men.
well, back in the days, people actually had something to actually live for. Like thousands of years ago, you live for your last name and you'll die for your last name. So men, they were born to want to die to make a name for themselves. Right now, these men who are born, they only want to live. There's nothing they actually will die for. So once you won't die for anything, you live in a kind of a safe feminine energy. Masculine energy is willing to live to die for something.
Okay.
If you get like thousands of years ago, they actually had principles. They was raised completely differently from the men who are raised now, mostly from like nurtured by moms or video games or teachers. By the time they get out to the real world, there's no more mom. Now you have boss, and bosses pamper them. They throttle them. They're not really. They don't really. The most masculine energy is when they're running to an officer, a cop, and they're probably scared as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get an 18, 19-year-old, they get pulled over, they're nervous, they're shaking because they don't know what to do because they haven't really been around any masculine energy their whole life. But yeah, to answer your question, I felt like back in the day, thousands of years ago, the masculinity comes from they wanted to be in history. They wanted to be a part of history. So obviously, the reason why you're alive today and all of us alive today, because our ancestors, our great 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 ancestors, were either prince, priests, or prophets, because those are the only bloodlines that made it. Because we went through plagues, we went through war, so all the bloodlines that made it had to be of some type of wealth, because the unmasculine DNA genes were canceled out because they just couldn't make it. We all pretty much are related, similar tribes, similar backgrounds, similar ancestry, because the people of power had lots of children, lots of children. They say 1% of the population is
Genghis
related to
Khan.
Genghis Khan.
Yep.
So it goes the most powerful, even in lions or Animal Kingdom, the most dominant DNA wins.
That's true. Also, back in the days, the teachers were male. They were, they weren't female. They were like the Aristotle. Those are all, those were the ones that were teaching the youth. People like Aristotle, people, I forgot, they have a word for them. Not prophets. They're something else. Philosophers, yeah. They were the ones that were doing it.
So the video games, it's not verbatim. The feminine guys, what, like that's the byproduct of something. How does that get created? Because back in the day, you were saying they were more masculine, right?
Yes.
Okay, so today they aren't. How is that? What changed?
I feel like, not to get into really on some nerdy shit.
Get into it.
I feel like they have the quantum computer. I feel like the quantum computer, they telling us they're working on it, telling us no, whatever. I feel like they had it for years now. Whatever whatever motive they want to happen to the
Population?
consciousness, to the consciousness. They put it into the quantum computer and they're able to shape reality. They put it in a more layman's terms. Like, I'm an Instagram influencer,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when I was heavy on my influencing, Instagram will give me we have another DM for the influencers. They'd be like, "Oh, this topic is trending. Do this,
Oh,
do this
wow.
song,
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
do this subject, and if you do it, it'll go viral. You get more hits, you get more,
crazy.
you'll get more attention.
Mm.
So it's like if you're going towards the route that they tell you, Meta is telling you. Not to, I know this is going on Meta, but I know what you guys are up to. If you go with the agenda, if all the influencers going with the agenda that they send them, then we're all going to shape the consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
If the whole agenda is telling you like,
Do
oh,
this.
this guy's an asshole, guess what? We're going to say by the end of the day, everybody's going to come to you. Did you know that this guy was
An
an asshole?
asshole, yep. Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they're pumping. So to get attention, attention is the new form of currency.
Yep.
So it's like everybody wants it, but
Mhm.
sometimes I will get those messages and I'm like, nah, I'm still gonna do what I want to do. This
Good
is
for
cool. I don't like this song. I don't
Right.
want to post this me working out or doing whatever to this song. I don't like it, But
Would you get penalized for that? Like,
you
would
want
they
to
tell
get
you?
penalized, but they'll penalize you
In other
in
ways.
their way by not
Mm.
giving you the attention you deserve. If you think you're gonna
Wow.
have a good post, but you didn't do the song that was viral or
So now they're
the
not
agenda
pushing
that
out.
were viral, so they're not going to put it into the algorithm.
Wow.
And I feel like Meta and the government, they have control of the consciousness through this way. Whatever agenda they want to push, they boop boop boop, and it shapes reality.
That's why they banned TikTok, because
They-
there was too much. TikTok was what the Chinese made TikTok, right? So
Okay.
they banned it over here because everybody was showing. I mean, the most up newsworthy stuff was what's going on in Palestine,
And
right? So they
conscious.
were conscious. Thank you. They were posting everything that's going on. This government couldn't stop it, so they banned it.
Okay.
So that's pretty much around
I
that.
actually stopped using TikTok because I feel like there was no freedom of speech there. A
Yeah,
lot
they
of
were
my
trying to do a
videos
lot of that,
were
yeah.
taken down,
Mhm.
and they saying I went against protocol, but I didn't even curse. I didn't
Yeah.
even
I
do
don't
anything
use
I
TikTok
felt was
either.
wrong, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why is my video flagged?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I felt that freedom of speech wasn't possible on there.
Neither on IG. I've gotten
Yeah.
blacklisted, shadow banned.
Shadow ban, yeah.
I don't know
That
how many
happened to
times.
me. I gave up on talking on Instagram. I gave it up.
It's
You know
like,
what
I'm not
I'm
gonna
saying?
talk no more.
I don't talk because at the time, I was getting paid from Instagram, so I just was like, nah, I'm not talking. I just gotta just keep doing what I'm doing, so I
Yeah.
continue to get paid and not talk about the stuff. It's kind of like punishment.
Right.
Like, yo, some people are getting lots of money on Instagram. So
Yeah.
if you say something that goes against their rules, which is everything nowadays,
Mhm.
then you don't get your check. So it's like they have everybody on a tight leash. So you
Right.
can't really do nothing.
You can't think for yourself.
Yeah,
I think on
it's-
Instagram
or
like that.
against the agenda.
Right.
I'm appreciative that you made it here,
Yeah.
Yes.
but I'm strict on time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the difference between a man who is dominant and leads versus a man who is controlling?
The answer.
And this is subjective answer. It's not. There's not a right or wrong answer.
I feel like a man who is dominant and leads doesn't really need to give order. Doesn't need to make orders. A man who is dominant and leads, they lead by example. They don't have to be like, oh, do this, do this, do this. You'll just do it, and then people will follow.
Okay.
A man who's more controlling has to, like, no, do it this way, do it this way. They don't let people develop as they should. Because a leader lets everybody else leads in their own way.
Okay.
If I'm a leader, I'm going to let you, I know you're a strong person. He got it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how you end the race. Just end it. I don't need you to end it the way I end the race. You know what
What about? I'm sorry to cut you off if I did.
No, it's okay.
Okay. You still going or?
No, you
Okay.
go.
What about two things? The leader in the job and the relationship. Because I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Kind of like letting them be free, seeking out their strengths and weaknesses, not verbatim. But, what about the job and the relationship? Because there is some policy there. So there is going to kind of be command for like a program to certain people to follow. So is it still work in a job and relationship? that way.
I'm confused. What do you mean by job? Like,
So I run a couple of businesses. I'm a general manager of a store.
yes,
So I hire who works under me.
yes,
They like on they getting hired, right? They're going through onboarding and stuff of that nature.
yes.
But I'm training them how I like things to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if you don't like the way I'm running things, you can go to Guess, you could go to Michael Kors, you could go wherever else. Everybody does their way of living. Everybody runs their
Business.
store or establishment or facility how they want, right? Based off the protocol and subjective.
Yeah.
So in that regard, a man that's doing that, is that like wrong, or does it still work with what you're saying of kind of just letting people be?
I feel like it still works in that aspect because there's always room for improvement. No matter how 100% correct you feel like your way is, there's always going to be someone with new ideas and a new vision that you might not even see.
Or experience.
You might hire someone that had more experience in the clothing field. Like, hey, listen, I love how you do it this way, but over in my store, we do it this way. And if you can see that, instead of like, no, we only do it here this way. But if you're able to see people's strength and bring it out of them, I feel like that's what a good leader could do. Because you can have it, it's your store. You can have it completely your way or the highway. But I feel like accepting new ways and new ideas. Somebody might tell you a new idea might be bullshit. Like, listen, that's retarded.
Yeah,
this is actually better from my experience this way. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be, as a good leader, able to determine the good ideas from the bad.
Yeah.
I also feel that comes like it helps elevate you. You're open to new ideas and new experiences. You're not closed off either.
Yeah. Especially like I agreed with it because I'm in that situation. Like I hired a stylist who went to school for fashion. So in that scenario, you're talking about that. I don't style well. I lead well. So I gave her that. So now it's kind of some type of empowerment. She could do visual. So I like that. What he was saying. So Sue, now this is not just the relationship. I know that we had this question numerous times. But we were talking specifically relationship. Overall, what's the difference between a man who's dominant and leads versus a man who is controlling?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
All right, because the other answer was for something else then. A man who is dominant and leads versus a man who is controlling. I feel that I'm gonna kind of jump on what Prince Kelz says. But I feel like a man who is controlling doesn't have control. You know what I mean? Like that's what he's seeking for. That's why he's trying to, get everything how he wants it because he doesn't have it like that. A man who's dominant and leads, like Prince Kelz said, he leads by example. So people, if he's dominant, he exudes that energy, and people are going to pay attention and say, "Oh shit," and if he's successful as well, and not just in like his business life, but in relationship, in whatever it is that he's successful in, people are going to want to hear what this man has to say.
True.
Okay, good. I'm going to say few things just in one sentence. The difference is, and remember, this is not a right or wrong answer, it's subjective. The difference is the man who dominates and leads or the man who is controlling. The man doesn't have power somewhere and the other man does. Now I'll expound. Where does he get that from? People submitting to him, appointing him. I could say I'm a king, self-proclaimed. At the end of the day, I gotta get respect from my peers, other people and whatnot, and then they start calling me that too. So it's like when I get into the job and I'm the general manager and I'm hiring certain people, yeah, I'm telling you how things will go, but you still have the freedom of choice. So if you know how I am and you're here, you're submitting. So that's the difference, I believe. The man who's controlling is trying to grab on, like my relationship is hanging by a thread. He don't have power there. He doesn't have control in the relationship or in that circumstance or that person. The man who is dominant and leads is like, yes, he leads by example, but it's because people receive him or even her but we're talking about a man here.
Mhm.
People receive him and they're willing to follow. Like, you can't be a leader without having followers.
That's
Just
true.
become self-proclaimed. So people eventually need to submit. That's just overall. When we look at relationship, I don't believe in the controlling aspect if the woman was there for years. So that's the difference. Yeah, I could believe a man can be controlling because, just like I said, he's like scrambling for scraps. He's scarcity mindset, scared, hanging by a thread. But the woman who is submitting there and staying, he's dominant. That's what I believe. Did she submit or not? That's what it pertains to the relationship aspect. Because we're looking at certain aspects where we could go in depth and be like, well, you know what? She needed him for cost of living or whatever. He was in this and that. But as an adult woman, she always has the out. So if she is there, especially for years, I feel like if you've been doing something for so long, you kind of become a master at it. Psychology says that. And if you've been somewhere for so long, you subconsciously like it. There's something about it that's benefit, even if you talk shit when it's over. He was controlling, abusive. There's something about that benefit why you stayed, because you could have left.
Yep.
What?
Very
Oh,
good.
you
I can dig it.
write something or
Huh?
you?
No, not for
You
that.
good?
For the
Okay. Next one. Like I said, these are perspectives.
next
I
one.
don't bring people on here to convert them.
Yeah.
Why is it that when women go through a heartbreak, they revert back to feminism or their default programming? You're aware of feminism? You're a smart
Yes.
guy. Sue, you're good too on that term.
Yep.
Okay. So why is it that they revert back to this, or their default programming when they go through a heartbreak?
I feel like women are always in an emotional state,
Mhm.
even in relationships, because women are built off of emotion. They're emotional creatures, and sometimes it's it's difficult to handle that. So I feel like when something tragic happens, men might do something more physical, might work out or go something more direct to get their mind off things. I feel like women react emotionally off of
Yep. And I like that
things.
and I like that, Kelz, you said that, because this is why I didn't say equal. Normally, when we have a debate, we'll say men or women, ratio and whatnot. I don't want people to think I'm picking on the women. When I say this, it's because I'll agree with you. Men are stoic. We weren't even really taught that growing up, that when we go through certain trauma or adversity, we just know to push back. Like, as a man, you ain't gonna just push me up against the wall metaphorically. Like, if I'm backed up like the cat, I'm gonna scratch away to get away as a man. You know, so naturally, like, the man just reverts back to his nature and gender roles, due to that. Whereas, I'll let you go, Sue, because I always go last.
I think it's a lot of women, they don't know how to hold themselves accountable for things. And I feel like they revert back to feminism or their default setting. They might not think like feminism, but they need somebody to blame other than themselves.
Okay.
I feel like an experienced man who knows women can expect a female to act like a female. So I feel like it takes a strong man and a leader to know to not take them at that point where they're acting erratic seriously. I feel like a strong man and a leader won't bring a woman to that point of an emotional wreck. I feel like certain men are toxic and they think that when woman is emotionally crazy over them, they feel like that's love because they don't really know what love is. A strong leader will never have their woman going crazy or in an erratic mind state. A strong man, woman will always just be like them. They'll have the swag. They'll develop the swagger of the man that they're
They want
with.
to mirror that.
But if most, I feel like men make women crazy through nitpicking or the trauma that they have, and they share that with love. They connect that with love. So they
Okay.
maybe they were brought up with their mom in a yelling way or something tragic way. So they try to get that mommy out of them. It's like it's a lot of mommy issues with men, but I feel but some women come scorned from past relationships.
Yep.
Due to men. Yeah.
So you get a like me, like I feel like I'm just a normal guy. But sometimes I if I come across a female, I'll know from 2 minutes of knowing if she's scorned, and I'll just be like red flag.
And you back
I've
away.
been on a date a long time ago with a female, and then I told her like, make a left turn. She's like, "Don't yell at me. This date is over."
Whoa.
I said, "Don't make." I said,
Sound like me.
He's faster than you.
He's faster than
This
me.
date is over.
That
You know
used
what
to be
I'm
the
saying?
old
Like,
me.
Yeah, I'm like, this date is over. I can't continue this date anymore because I just know she has trauma that I can't deal with.
Yeah.
And,
You know what
You're
is
gonna say
funny? Yeah. So when you said that men who actually like that, like when they make their women crazy because that's how they associate with love.
Yeah.
First of all, you blew my mind with that because that wasn't even I didn't even think about that. But it's very hand in hand to when women go date men who are abusive because that's how they think that you know that's how they show their love. Oh, he must love me. He hit me. Oh, he must love me. He's going through my phone or whatever.
Sometimes the women, they view that as masculinity, and they stay for the masculinity, which is what they think that is.
Yeah.
You know, so I believe that why they revert back to this is because the feminine is built to be delicate and thrive under comfort, not pressure, not stress, not duress. So when they go through a heartbreak, that's trauma. That's trauma. And the only thing they have to survive is like that show when we brought Chris on. And you revert to masculine energy because masculine energy is the source to survival. Like a feminine woman won't survive. If she's just feminine and there's not masculine there, she's going to cry all week. She got to turn her masculine up to be like, okay, I got to stop crying. I got to go to the gym. I got to start becoming a workaholic. All these things she's doing now to avoid healing or that breakup or not having a man. She's coping of not having a man this way. She gets in her masculine. Because when we look at back in the days of how women were, they were free, carefree, romanticized everything. They were just there for me to provide for them. They weren't here picking up drills and stuff and bringing in the heavy sofa. That's for masculine because we got the testosterone for that. The woman's body is not built for that unless she's taking performance enhancements, drugs, and stuff of that nature. There's a reason God created us like this, complementary opposites, yin and yang. So when she goes through the heartbreak, that's trauma. She don't know any way to survive from that but turning her masculine up. Feminism, part of that. That's the default programming.
Yeah.
Let's say they say opposites attract. What are some good opposites that make a match?
I got one.
I don't really feel opposite attract.
Ooh.
I don't really feel that way.
Okay.
I feel like if I'm with someone or I meet someone and they're too opposite, I automatically just put it as red flag. I kind of try to go to someone with the same spiritual vibration as me, on the same path.
What about the same energy?
Same energy as me, and mostly if you're the same energy as me, we already think alike. You know.
So you want her masculine?
Not really masculine, but I when you said opposite, I thought you meant like hobbies and way of life. I didn't mean.
Okay, because I asked energy.
Yes.
Oh, so you're not looking at
I'm not looking at it
like how
like masculine and
feminine.
Obviously, masculine and feminine is like yin and yang, like you said. But
I'm being technical.
When you said opposite, I thought you just meant like they like basketball and I like football or track.
Yeah, that could be that too.
Yeah. But see, I don't even like sports.
So you lost me already.
Yeah, so it's like you don't like you like basketball, red flag.
So like-minded, energy.
Yeah.
He said you like basketball, red flag.
I'm a red flagger. I'll throw in a red flag quick.
He's saying basketball and football. Get out of here.
He should go on that thing you were talking about with the balloon thing.
What balloon thing?
Oh, the pop balloon. Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, I
He'd
thought
be
I
like, "Yo, nope,
just pop.
pop."
You won't even
Yeah.
think about it. That's
So, Sue,
funny. Huh?
what do you believe? They say opposites attract.
I
What?
was on a whole different level. I said jumbo shrimp.
That's a good match.
Yeah,
Okay.
jumbo shrimp.
Okay.
Shrimp yummy and they're big.
Mm.
That's a good match. Now,
Okay.
if we're talking about other stuff, I think
No,
they say opposites attract.
it
I
wasn't
agree.
specific.
No, I know, but
Mm.
I was also joking with the jumbo shrimp. Um, when they say opposites attract, I do believe that opposites do attract, but like you, not everybody, if it's too different, then
Yeah.
no. But like bad boy and a good girl. A lot of times you see that. You see, like a hood guy and a girl that's in the university or something like that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? White collar.
I don't really feel like that's the opposite. I feel like the good girl is just attracted to the masculine energy. I feel like that's just masculine and feminine energy.
Right, but
Just-
she's not attracted to a man with feminine energy.
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think a woman should be attracted to men with feminine energy. I
That's
feel
what
like
I'm
they just
saying.
haven't came across one, and when they finally do, it's not really that they're bad. It's just that they're exuberating high masculine energy.
Oh, you're saying a woman that hasn't come across a man with high.
Yes, when they
Got
finally
you. But when they
meet up,
do,
when they do, it's just
then it's
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
this is
where have you been all my life?
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Reminds them probably of their father.
right,
you know?
right.
Mm.
That's what you say too. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think a hood dude and a Ivy League girl or college is a good match, but I mean, they could attract each other. Good girl, bad boy, that's common. Usually, good girl is like feminine energy, bad boys exuding high masculine energy. So, due to polarity physics, they attract. So I think that's a good match. Car battery, negative and positive. It's the only way you're gonna jump the car. Left and right, even with like headphones, that's a good match. When we put the XLR cords in the recorder, it's this side it's the male which has the points,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes into the female which have the holes. That's a
Mhm.
good match. Opposites attract, and that's why we're able to hear ourselves through this microphone. So those are good matches of success, and like dominant, submissive, masculine, feminine, man, woman. You know, heterosexual.
I feel like man and woman are opposites, but I feel like that's through cultural design. I feel like we're all one, spiritually.
Mm.
Like I feel like they make
Interesting.
them opposites, but I feel like in a natural state they would fit perfectly. I don't feel like they would be opposites. I feel like society made them seem like women are from Mars and men are from Jupiter, but it's not that complicated.
In the spiritual realm,
Yes,
you
in a
feel like that?
spiritual, in a spiritual
Yeah,
state, we're all
cause not in the physical one.
yeah.
In the physical one, the man and the woman attract,
In the-
because in the physical there's gender roles.
in the physical, I feel even thousands of years ago, you gotta understand that the government had and churches had heavy influence over
Yeah.
the consciousness.
Mhm.
So even if you want to bring it back to those times, influence of higher beings shaped the consciousness of males and females. Show them how to love, show them how to take care of one another, but in a natural state of, if you want to bring it to like a primitive to almost animalistic,
Mhm.
I feel like men and women are just the same. If you want to bring it to the point where they had no government influence, because right now, if I look on her algorithm on her phone, and my algorithm, it's two different agendas being pushed by the quantum computer.
Yeah.
There's her algorithm is full of hate men speech. My algorithm is full of women ain't shit speech. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So society is purposely trying to separate us, and they've been doing this for thousands of years. But if you go to a primitive state, like I had boy dogs and I had girl dogs. My boy dog, he was the alpha, but he could not live without my female dog.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they were both the same.
They're
but
both alpha.
They were they practiced, they shared.
Okay.
Sometimes like my female dog would see me and hump him. Yeah, she will hump him. If I come around, and he just loves her so much that he'll just be like, whatever.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But if my female dog was just there chilling with me, she wouldn't cry. She wouldn't do nothing. If my male dog was by himself, he couldn't take it.
Mm.
He needed her.
Mm. Okay. Um. Yeah. I think the spiritual realm, what you were saying, makes sense. The physical realm, opposites. And it just goes back to gender roles. Technically, we're not the same because I can't get pregnant. The woman can. Um. You know, things from my testosterone can favor me. It won't favor her unless she's taking performance enhancement drugs. So in those regards, it's like, yeah, opposites in the physical realm. But I can agree with that where you say, well, it's one energy and the energies are the same, but in the spiritual realm.
Kind of like animalistics. Like I used to be a big Animal Planet guy. So it's like in
the jungle,
in the jungle, the safari where the lions live and play. Like the lioness, they'll go hunt.
Yep.
And the big lion will prevent other male lions from coming and killing the club. Sometimes the male lion will, if it's a big kill, will assist.
Yep.
But he knows his role. He doesn't gotta go hunt. I'm the big lion. If he's really hungry,
Providing
he
protect.
he might just chill with the cubs. You know what I'm saying? But they both are fierce. The lioness is fierce. The lion is fierce. The lioness might be more fierce than the. I noticed with my dogs, the lioness might be more fierce because they get scared. My male dog, was never scared. That's why he wasn't really dangerous because he didn't fear anything. He was so big. But my female dog was smaller. She was scared of everything. That made her more vicious and ferocious. That fear. There's my belief is there's two emotions, love and fear. Everything stems from those, from the animalistic point. Fight or flight.
Okay.
The fear keeps you alive. If you fear nothing, then it's like
you need that. It's like adrenaline.
Yeah. And love. My male dog had a lot of love. But hate, jealousy, hate comes from, it's a low vibration. It comes from fear. All these words that they made up for those two, because we're all indigenous beings. I'm Jamaican, so my original tribe is the Taino. The Taino Indians. Of course, they came from a couple slaves from on rowboats and inbreeded with the indigenous, but the indigenous man was more spiritual. We didn't really go to the colonist religion. You know, sometimes I try to in tune with the more spiritual beings, and the closest way to get to that is really through animals, I feel.
Interesting.
Can a man protect and lead his woman if he doesn't have authority over her or the relationship?
No.
Sue.
I say no also.
Okay, we agree. Is it hard to get a man to commit or a woman to submit?
I feel like men are scared to commit because.
But which one though? Is it hard to get the man to commit or the woman to submit?
And then women to submit. It's hard to get a woman to submit.
And now you could say why men are afraid of commitment.
I feel like everyone's just had that one hurt, that one heartbreak, and they just never want to get hurt again. I feel like everybody's just running around hurt because, like, it was a point in time where if you bed somebody, you wedded them.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bunch of sexual activity. It's like if I had a girl with 15, 16, I took her to bed, I took her to wed. This is one of a wife or multiple wives, depends on the era you're going to. So now everybody's going from relationship to relationship to being hurt and scorned and just going around. So they develop this protective barrier. They're scared to love. I have a friend who was telling me that she's dating a guy, and I was like, that guy loves you. Like, he doesn't love me. She was thinking of every reason why this guy didn't love him. I'm like, no, he loves you. There's only two emotions: there's love and fear. He loves you, but she didn't want him to love her. She didn't even want to break down her protective wall, a barrier, because she doesn't want to get hurt. So everybody's building a wall because they think love is some kind of weakness, but it's actually a big strength. It's not. It's okay to love. It's okay to meet somebody and to love this show, to love this audience, to love each other. It's okay to love each other. It's not a weakness, but some people just show no love. It'll get you killed or whatever. Just they don't want to love. And I feel like if you don't have love in your heart or know how to love yourself, you can't love anybody else. And you're not going to submit because you feel like women not going to submit because they're going to feel like somebody's getting over on them, and then the men won't commit because they don't want to get hurt.
Okay.
See, I said it's harder to get a man to commit, but my reasonings were totally far from that. Excuse me. I said it's hard for him to commit, not to commit to a woman, to commit to one woman. I feel like it's harder for a man to do that. Like he wants to, like some men, Mr. Discipline, he's, damn it. You know the words,
Polyamorous?
eso, polyamorous. And so he doesn't want to commit to just one woman because what if, he also loves that other woman over there? That's how I read it.
You're not making it subjective, right?
No.
Okay.
But that's just one of the
Okay.
the thing that came up.
Yeah, because a
Because
man
I
has
feel
to
like-
know himself
Yeah.
to
I
be
feel
able to
like
do that, because polyamorous is building a relationship
yes, I
with
feel like
multiple women.
a woman when she finds the man that she wants to, start something with and build something with, then she will submit to him because that's my own opinion, because she wants to make the man that she is with happy. So that's it. All right, that's a sign from the Lord. Shut up.
Finish what you were saying.
I forgot now. I had to fix my thing.
I'll bring it to like a primitive, like the primitive state of mind when it comes to male and female. I feel like society is too sexually overdrived. I feel like if you're chasing a woman, that's for procreation. You're supposed to chase that woman, have kids, have a family. You chasing that woman just to have sex with her and just to exuberate some pleasures that you have in your brain and no intentions on procreating is
Right.
just silly.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we got it all out of our system, but now as an adult, it's like you should be looking for a mate to
Yes.
further populate this country.
Yep.
And your bloodline. It's like
Exactly.
chasing women with no intentions on kids or a family. Is you can be poly and do the same thing, but just have a goal. Like, all right, are you gonna have my baby or what? Not
Right.
to try
it's like
to
a waste of time.
sound
then.
like a psycho. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, all right, what are we doing here? We're just
Building.
practicing sex.
Right.
Like, if you have no intentions on furthering my lineage, I have no time for no distractions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Chasing women is just a big distraction and left you gonna
Mhm.
be an extension of my family. That's just how I feel.
So when I look at these terms, I think of general. I don't think of specific. So is it harder to get a man to commit or a woman to submit? Harder to get a man to commit, in my perspective, than a woman to submit. Because when I look at the term submission or submit, I'm thinking what the woman is naturally doing, following. I'm thinking sex. I don't often hear or never really saw it, even family members, boys, whatever, when I was in the street, hearing, yo, I got dominated by my girl last night. Shoot, that shit was fire. Like, so I'm looking at even sex, the woman is submitting, whether it's the position, she's telling you whatever, it is, the man is manhandling her, operative word, she's submitting. It's hard to get the man to commit. Now, back in the days, wasn't, but like if we're looking at modern day, it is. Because ultimately, to submit, the woman has to feel like she's getting some benefit there. She needs you in some regard. That's what's going to thrive that submission. So in a way, it's like women do that easy. Even promiscuous women who are hoeing, they do that. Whether it doesn't have to be I'm submitting in the entirety 24/7. I'm submitting in some aspect. She's still submitting technically. It would be in a situation, but after you giving the cheeks, are you getting them to give you the ring? After you giving the cheeks, are you getting him to be your man? It's a lot harder to get the man to commit, because these are the things that we're in control of. Man is in control of relationship and commitment. Woman is in control of access to sex and whether she wants to bring another life on earth, because that's her body, her choice, right? So like when we look at these aspects of gender roles, it's like, girl, you could tell me 5 times a day we go together. If I say no, it's no. If you're into me and I'm like, you're mine, you belong to me, you're gonna, like, there's something in your brain that triggers arousal. Love a man to take charge. versus me being so hardcore dominant. You keep telling me we go together. That's actually annoying. It's bothering me. So it's not making me come to you closer. It's doing the opposite. You see what I'm saying? So you good?
I'm trying to say. Yep.
You know, so it's like a lot harder from my perspective to get a man to commit than the woman to submit, because she might not even be just submitting in bed. Like, let's eradicate sex in the bedroom, but she might have a male boss. It's like if she's really, really hard on an alpha, she bumps heads with him every day. She don't submit there. Why you get me my coffee? It's not in your job description. Trying to kiss ass to get a better better benefit here. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's submitting to even in that regard. You know, if we want to just be technical for general, not like this is women submit sexually or whatever it is. You know, you got guys out there that are pandering. Oh, you gotta pay all the bills. This is what makes you be a man. Some women submit to that. Oh, he's a good financial provider, status. They submit to that. You know, they subject themselves to certain things, maybe immoral things. For that, that's submitting. Well, my perspective, I might not say that's the truth, but that's submitting, you know, for the women. So it's a lot easier. And also, there's more women in this world than men. So it's a lot easier to get women to follow to certain things. There's different types of women. Submission is not universal. But to get men to commit, it's harder. A lot harder. Why is there an expression man up, but I haven't heard woman up?
I'm clueless on that one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm clueless.
Okay.
Man, I don't really use that expression, but I'm familiar with it.
Okay.
And you know, I feel like women, they promote each other in a different way. You know what I'm saying? They're more like, they big up their partners in a different way. They use different lingo. They might not say women up, but they boost their friends to the highest degree, I feel.
Queen, boss bitch.
Even like a female could have a friend that's just fat. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, she's not fat, she's big. Like, no, fat. You know, like, and she's beautiful. She's like, they'll big up their other females in a different way. They won't say woman up, but they'll say it in like bitch, get your bag.
Yeah, masking it in different.
Bitch, get your bag.
Like, whatever, you know, they do it differently.
Yeah, masking it with different word choice. Yeah.
I always thought that man up meant stop bitching and do what you're supposed to do. That's how I always thought man up was.
Why do you think there's an expression for
Of
it?
man up? I feel like it's societal. Men, especially as children, they are not allowed, but they're not taught to express themselves or to feel those feelings, and then they're not taught that. They're taught to whatever's hurting you, put in the back burner. You got things to do, so let's go. Let's get to work, get to whatever it is that you got to do. That's how I always interpreted that expression, man up.
Yeah. Why do I feel like there is standards? Men are held to a different standard. Family, friends, peers, societal expectations than women. So that's why I feel like there's an expression for man up. Why is it that when a man gets violated, or other men will call him a beta male or a simp? Why?
Wait, gets violated? What do you mean violated? I feel like I'm over here. Oh, here. I'm just not gonna talk. This show is done for me. Go, gentlemen, go.
Go ahead, the guess.
When men get
violated. So violation could be in a sense of, let's say we're boys, you tell me, yo, man, I really gotta talk. Because this is not common where men can come to other men and really talk about their feelings and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yo, man, I gotta talk. I'm not saying this happened, just to make you understand. Yo, my girl slapped me the other day and she kept doing it. Or like, she called me names. Shame me and this and that. Like, you could look at violation in different forms. Like, somebody crossing your boundaries, they violated you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when men get violated, it doesn't have to be by a woman, right? Why do they get called these terms by other men?
because it's I feel like they're in their feminine energy when they're complaining about they got slapped or their problems. I feel like men don't really, especially black men, we don't have really time to complain. We don't have time to be in our emotions. We don't have time to be sad. We don't have time to be down or depressed. I have one vision, and that's the future. I'm in the year 3000. So what happened yesterday, I'm not going to call somebody and discuss yesterday. I'm already on 3000. Nothing distracts me from it. If something is even slightly bringing me from my vision of my plan that I have, I'll just get out of the situation. I don't even think I'll be in a situation where a woman will actually like slap me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just as soon as I see it's just going a little left, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'll come back maybe in 3 days. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't entertain behavior that's
It's kind of toxic.
like yeah, I don't entertain behavior that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if me coming to another man like, oh my girl, they will never hear that out of me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that's not my like if you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not one of my 99 problems.
Is that what you would tell him? Well, let's say a man came to you and
I would
said
tell
that.
go back, man up. What are you talking about?
Go back and smack her?
No, definitely not go back and smack her. Definitely not harm a woman, but I'll definitely say, yo, relax, get some space, cool yourself. Give her time to miss you.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
Because you life coaching, so somebody might come to you asking about this.
Exactly.
So Sue.
I think why men do that. I think it's a form of them trying to help them get out of that feminine energy. Like, what are you doing? You have too much. You have more things going on. Why are you worrying about that? That's what I think.
That's a good way to put it. Good way to put it. Very articulate. Yeah, form of like holding them accountable. That's why I think they say that. Because like you were saying, I would just tell them to go back and man up. That's you holding them accountable. I'm fit. I'm in the best shape right now, which is weird, 10 years later than 10 years prior. They say as men get older, testosterone lower. Nah, I went to the doctor, I'm skyrocket. So if I fell off and my brother or brothers, because I have both, saw me, they would be like, damn, nigga, what happened to you? You used to be brolic. That's like them indirectly saying, yo, you need to get back in the gym. I'm not used to seeing you like that. Like, it's so quick, just like you were saying, the fat girl. I'm not, I might think of it, but you're beautiful. Look, your curves. You see what I'm saying? It's opposite. Versus us, it's like, yo, you ain't going to the gym. You used to, what happened to you, like that Wangster song?
We're brutally honest with you.
With 50 Cent? Damn, homie. But in high school, you was the man, homie. Like that.
I feel like that's love. I feel like someone who actually loves you, a man who actually loves you and cares about you, they'll be brutally honest with you.
Yeah, I agree.
They saying stuff like that.
I agree.
It's out of love and it's care.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
And who you are, the man you are.
So now we say, why don't women shame each other for being alpha or masculine, but men will shame each other for being beta and simp? So we kind of just got through the men side. Let's just focus on why women won't shame women for being this way. They actually big them up.
There's an array of reasons, I feel.
I feel like we should let the lady answer this question.
No, you're not avoiding. You're not avoiding. Why do you think so?
Well, I feel like just women they naturally hype each other up. I feel like the culture of women is just to not have accountability on anything.
Okay.
I think that's the culture. That's just what's going on. It's just how it is.
Okay.
I honestly would like to know myself.
Let's go, Sue.
I mean,
you might have the answer.
I don't know if I have the answer, guys. Okay, I don't know about that. Why don't we shame each other for being alpha masculine? I mean, like I said, I think that there's a lot of reasons for that. One of the top ones is, first of all, I just wanted to correct, well, not correct, but back in the days, it wasn't women being so, oh, you look so pretty, I love your nails, let me tell you, how would you get that? No, it was catty. Bitches were catty back in the days. Like, you don't look better than me, bitch. That's how it was back in the days. Now it's starting to be more, sisterhood and all that stuff. But I think that they don't want to hurt the other one's, especially if that's your girl. They don't want to hurt their feelings. Um, I'm big on you can say the same thing in 10 different ways. So if I'm going to hold you accountable for being too alpha or too masculine in your relationship, I'm not going to come out brutally honest like you guys do, but I will choose my words so that she can understand me because men and women, when a man says something to a woman, she's taking it in a whole different way than what he's trying to portray, or trying to get her to understand. Just like when a woman says something, a man might not hear what she's trying to say. He might hear her being nagging, and that's not what she's trying to come across as. She's trying to explain to you how her feelings are. You know what I mean? So I myself will always hold somebody accountable for what they're doing, especially my friends, especially my daughter, or something like that. My daughter, my sister, my cousins, always. I just choose my words so that I don't hurt their feelings, but I get my point across.
Okay.
Lord, I am sweaty.
And
Took a lot out of me.
that's common for like a woman answer.
Well, I'm a
We
woman.
don't have a problem in kind of being a little callous,
That's what I'm saying.
because we see that as love. Like, I care about you, so I'm saying this. Whereas the woman will always think about the other woman's emotions. What could possibly happen? Like,
Mhm.
I'm not worried if you throw a tantrum right now. Like you were saying, I'm gonna think this is a joke because of the man I am. I'm not looking at that as, oh my God, I'm scared right now.
No, but it
Like,
doesn't have to be that
so
though.
I'm not saying I'm scared to tell her the truth. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Where
no.
most women will think of, damn, what if this goes left? Her
Yeah.
feelings, and you see what I'm saying? So it's just
Yeah.
natural for that answer. So why do they do this? First of all, I don't believe a lot of feminine women are like loud. So maybe they want to shame them, but they're thinking what Sue is, the possible ramification. They're always thinking about the possible ramification. The masculine man's a little bit different. He kind of, hey, if we gotta invite controversy, let's do it. This is war, let's go to war.
But women are peacekeepers. That's why we do that.
Yeah, so they're constantly like overthinking and stuff like that and worried about the possible ramifications. So that's why some women won't say that even though they don't like it. Also, the inflation of female independence. Most of the time you go out there, especially in the Western Hemisphere, you're going to find a lot of women that are similar, different races, but similar energy.
Yeah.
So now they're like, oh, she just like me. If I'm bigging her up, I'm bigging her. I'm being up. It's like us. You win as a black man, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna put things in how people are gonna view you is gonna affect me.
Mhm.
So you win, and I've known you like way before this.
Yeah.
So when you're winning, I'm like I hit you up to congratulate you recently for all your accolades. Because I'm looking at that as not just I knew him years ago and whatnot, and I'm happy for that. But it's like I'm looking at you as a black man. You're winning. I'm gonna win too, even if we're doing different things.
Yeah.
So the women are kind of looking at other women that way, even if they feel like, damn, I kind of feel bad for being this way. It's hurting my relationship. But when they're seeing it elsewhere, it makes them more comfortable to be it. So it's just natural. If I big her up subconsciously, it's like I'm bigging myself up too. Psychology. That's why I think they won't shame them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Is power in the hands of the one who pays all the bills?
I feel like yes, the person who pays all the bills, will have most of the power.
Okay.
Yeah, I should be treated as the one with the power. But like you said, men and women. If you're talking about relationship wise, you know what I'm saying, male and female,
Or
yeah,
even like
parents
like let's
or
say
kids, or there's plenty of
exactly,
different
parents,
situations.
kids.
Yeah,
You're
but
the breadwinner there,
yeah,
head of the household.
yeah, but head of the household, exactly.
Mm.
That's what the person who pays the bills is normally called, the head of
Okay.
the household. So yeah, for that in that situation, yeah, if you pay the bills and you're the head of the household, but
Okay.
are you gonna have most power? It's like you said, you get most in a relationship. If you can talk about that way, I feel like everybody has their own like strength. You know what I'm saying? Because what's more important to me is my lineage. my daughter. So the person who's taking care of my daughter while I'm making the money, paying the bills, has a very, very important job because she's
Absolutely.
has the job of my future. Because when
Mhm.
I'm dead and gone, my daughter's gonna be here and my grandkids.
Mhm.
So to instill this into my daughter and for her to have her kids, that's a very important job. And I wouldn't put nothing past that job. You know what I'm saying? Making money and paying the bills is a very deserves power and deserves to be the leader. But the person in charge of my lineage, my future, that's you have to put that in a very important person's hand. You know what I'm saying?
Understood. So,
Um, well, as far going back to the head of household, that's who's considered, like the breadwinner. I think traditionally, yeah, but there has been, like, I have my own experience where um in my old relationship, my ex marriage, there was a time where he did not work because of he got hurt or whatever, and I was the one that was working. But when it comes to the taxes, he was head of household. So it's not he wasn't bringing any money in. I was bringing the money in, but he was still considered head of household in the government. Anyway, but that has something to do. I feel like it doesn't matter who pays the bills. I don't feel like paying the. I think that it like you said, it deserves its recognition, but I don't think it deserves its power, because like in my instant, I was paying the bills, but I didn't have the power in my house at that time.
so
Well, you at the time you're technically the head of the household.
Not according to the United States government, but yes.
Yeah.
So, let me see.
But these are just terms created by the man
Yep,
to
exactly.
shape reality in our consciousness. So
Yeah,
I don't really
social
get
constructs.
into a lot of words and vocabularies because it's just used for depression and anxiety
And confusion.
and confusion and to put us in a mental state where we require drugs and other forms of dopamines to heal ourselves.
Is the power in the hands of the one who pays all the bills? No. Now, technically, they would view that I pay all the bills here, so I run the relationship. They would think they do. There's a sense of responsibility there, but from my experiences, what I've seen, I've seen a lot of rich men get cheated on. Damn, power would mean she would be loyal. You know what I'm saying? So money is not that of a stamp for power for some women, especially if they have it. So in a way, like, it might be powerful a woman who doesn't have anything, and he's paying all the bills. It might be powerful a man who doesn't have anything, couch potato, and she's paying all the bills. But even in that regard, we look at Baby Boy. I just said this in the last show. Rest in peace, John Singleton. Yvette and Jody, played by Taraji
P. Henson.
and Taraji P. Henson. He looked like he had power there.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Get back to what she said. I've been in a similar situation that where you was in, where the female was the breadwinner, and I can tell you from a man, it's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling having a female being a breadwinner. It's not a good feeling having a female taking care of you. It's not. I felt as a man powerless, and it's just not a good feeling. I didn't feel powerful.
Right.
I felt helpless. I felt almost like a child.
Like a burden.
That's the feeling from a man like me. You know what I'm saying? So when a female has to take care of me, I feel deep in feminine energy.
Like you're emasculated. You're emasculated.
Yes, I don't like the feeling of a female taking care of me. I don't like it at all.
In general,
I'd rather be by myself. I'm the type of man that will rather be by myself than be taken care of by a female.
But when you say taken care of, you're talking about financially only?
Financially,
Only,
yes.
okay.
Financially. Like I had a bar when I was in my rapping days. Like, y'all the type to go job hunting. I'm the type to go rob something. That's just a different like
Yeah,
Way of
lifestyle
seeing it,
about me.
absolutely.
But before I got to that point, like
Mhm.
I'll do something dramatic,
Mm.
because just that's just within
The
me.
person,
You know what
the
I'm
man
saying?
that you
I'll
are.
rather go door to door and hustle, scam. I'm gonna do whatever to get the money.
Mhm.
For a man to sit down and not make any money when if they're sick or they're hurt, then I'll understand.
Yeah.
Even I was just hurt at my job.
Mm.
I only took 2 days off, and I could have took a month off. They go, why don't you to do what? Sit home and do what?
Yeah. Mhm.
If I had more money to go get, then I would take the month off. I took 2 days off. I'm back.
Mhm.
Here I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yep.
just don't. I don't believe in that. Every day I work 7 days a week. And then when I get
Right.
off work, I go to work. And then when I'm off of work, I go to work,
Mhm.
or I'm studying.
Right.
This is my life. I don't stop moving. So
Mhm.
for me to be in that position is just I didn't think ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you have just all this
It's going on her.
it's going on
Mhm.
her, and I'd rather be by myself before I wanna
Mhm.
do that.
Because then
You know
that
what I'm
might
saying?
cause stress for her. Because now she's like, I got to work extra hours. I got to make this. blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, my son, Bar said, bad bitches cost. Better leave if you can't afford it, or something like that. It goes in something of that nature. But it's like, if you can't afford it, it's like, yo, I gotta gradually step down, because this is, I know it's the quantum computer shaping this reality, but the reality now, it wasn't like this 10, 20 years ago. The man has to be the provider.
Mhm.
That's just what it is. We can't change it.
Mhm.
That's just it.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think that what he's saying is true.
Mhm.
A masculine man is gonna be too prideful. Is gonna be looking at it like mother child, like I'm not a child.
Mhm.
He's gonna be too prideful.
And women will take advantage of that. I know I'm sure you had your days where you was just
Talking
snotty.
maybe an
You know what I'm
argument,
saying?
maybe
Yeah.
during an
Yeah.
And you
argument.
don't feel good in those.
Yeah.
You don't feel good.
Yup.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
So there's some sense of power they believe, but just like I was saying about that fictional film,
Mhm.
there's certain aspects that the man brings that kind of gets that power. Like, let me break some down. I dated a RN back in the day. I could make 80, 90. She was making like 120, 130. Clearly, she's making more money than me. But I brought other aspects to the table that makes the women forget that and remember that if that money is gone, if you lose your job tomorrow, I lose my job tomorrow, we're men and women, caveman error. So that's the difference of why I don't feel it is power in that because of gender. But I can understand and see on a different perspective of the one who is paying all the bills. They feel like they have a sense of power, and that power could come with abuse,
And
like the emotional abuse of the woman saying, "I did this for you," or the guy's like, "Oh, you're not gonna have this."
one more thing to touch up on that.
I got something to say too after him.
What the quantum computer fucked up, and not saying that I want to bring this type of situation back, but you gotta understand, like 50, 60 years ago, the man's power was our actually power. If we got into an argument with a female, deck, you can just punch them and they'll fall to the floor. End of argument.
Back in the
That's
day,
true.
or slap them.
That's
Yo, or
true.
Back in the day.
shut up, sit down.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the argument.
Mhm.
That's as far as it goes. What you said? Backhand,
Yeah.
argument over.
Yeah.
The man's power. This is what my mom told me when I was young. A man's power is his strength, and a woman's power is his mouth. Never get into an argument with a woman because you're always gonna lose. That's what my mother told me, and I never forgot it. Like, yeah, my power is my strength.
Mm.
I don't win in any type of social altercations with you. I can't win.
Mhm.
I feel even feminine even arguing with you.
Right.
So you can't. Our physical power is to take away. So my only strength is space.
Mm.
If it's an argument, my only strength, okay, space. That's the
That's
only
good.
thing I can have. Because I
Mhm.
can't not saying I want to, but I can't just be like, what? Backhand.
Yeah.
That's my power. I'm stronger than you.
Right.
That's what the power God gave me to be
Mhm.
physically stronger than you.
Exactly.
And physically able. That's power.
Because that's gonna help you protect the woman that you're with. Is your
That-
physical power.
That's my power.
Mhm.
And I can't use it. My only power is to try to verbally go in your realm. And guess what? I lose every time.
Mhm.
So I don't engage
That's true.
at all.
Mhm.
I wanted to bring something back to the power thing. Only that somebody who is not doesn't know themselves or has a big inflated ego will always think I make the money, I have the power. That's what I think. Because a person who knows who has that kindness that will know. And I'm talking about myself, that I know I was making the money at that time, but I know that he wasn't like a deadbeat. He got hurt, and now I had to I had to step up. I had to put my big girl underwears on and do what I got to do, because that is the agreement that I made when I married him. You know what I mean? For good, for sickness and in health, for goodness and badness, or whatever the heck we said. You know what I mean? So that was my time to show I can. I know you're hurt. I know that I have to do this for a little bit, and I'm gonna do that. I never threw it in his face. I mean, yes, like you said, there were times I was tired. I had my two kids, work, the kids, and that it'll get to you. You know, you get a little snippy, like
women are
The-
you're built up of emotion. Some days you just
and you're tired on top of that.
emotions are high.
Yeah.
You're not feeling it.
Yeah, and we've had this conversation, Sue,
Yeah.
where I asked you this question: how long would the women take care of the man? And there's an expiration date there till he got back on his feet. Could be 3 months, 6 months, a year. Everybody's different, but
Different, yep.
there's always an expiration date for all women.
Mm-hmm.
The woman loses her job. The man, right? The man, which is a prominent word, very important in society. The man. I'm talking about a feminine man, males. The man, he will say, I got you for life. This is my duty, my job.
Mm-hmm.
Are men likely to compete for the majority of women, or women more likely to compete for the minority of men?
Women compete for the minority of men.
Sue.
Wait, are men likely to compete for the majority of women, or women more likely to compete for the minority of men? Women for the minority of men, because there's not a lot of men.
Yeah, I agree. So just a little bit more context. Maybe the audience don't get it. Once again, these are subjective questions for subjective answers. When there's a bunch of women that kind of just act the same, look the same, it's less likely we're going to compete for that. For women, it's like, in a way, they all want the same type of guy, different races. Because you might have a black woman who's strictly black men only. I won't date outside my race. But she likes the same characteristics that the Asian man will bring. So in a way, they like the same type of men because of character. Similar character, different lifestyles, different views. But when it comes to gender roles, they both believe this is their duty.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
To the audience out there, I'm going to put it in even more layman's terms.
Okay.
Women are like goldfish. All the goldfish look alike. But the goldfish that the women's procreate with is the ones that all the other women's are procreating with. You can have 10 male goldfish in there, but if one female starts reproducing with one goldfish, the rest of them follow to that one goldfish and leave the other 9 males and not procreate with them. Women are just like goldfish.
That makes sense.
That is from Animal Planet. I'll have
It's like
I see. I remember that.
it's like the sperm all competing to get to that egg.
No.
All right. Last one. What's more attractive to you? Natural law: a man to take charge or a woman to take charge? Now, it doesn't have to be attracted to you, but like, what makes sense, right? What makes sense? A man to take charge or a woman to take charge? Don't say equal.
I feel like a woman in her natural energy taking charge is attractive. Like doing what she does in her realm, not really my realm. You know what I'm saying? If a woman's a good nurturer, a good mother, or good at what she does, whatever job she does, that in her world, she goes to work and she didn't have a bad day, she had a nice day, and she's just happy in her energy, that's attractive.
He's good.
He's freaking very
He's
good.
he's getting that and now making it technical. He's good. But I didn't say charge in something. I
Right.
made it general. He's good.
I like it too.
So
I'm gonna say that it's attractive for a man to take charge, and in every like aspect, like he said, in whatever the man does. You know what I mean? Like in take charge in the bedroom, take charge in the household. Take charge when we're out, protect me. That's attractive.
Um, Damn, I wouldn't say attractive. I'm not into men. Um, I would say what I believe is natural for my frontal cortex of seeing for so many years, even as a child to now, the man taking charge. But I do agree with you, Kelz, like because we have different roles, so we dominate in these aspects in regard. Like I always say, I'm not really good at folding clothes, and I hate doing laundry and cleaning the toilet and stuff. I get, oh man, I gotta do this shit. When it's time to build something, I'm all giddy and shit. But imagine the woman, oh, I gotta put these drapes up with the drill. Versus she's like, oh, I can't wait to cook. I'm the best around. I'm the best cook around. So she's gonna dominate in the kitchen. I could dominate in the gutters, mowing the lawn, fixing the door on the hinge. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that. When I look at it, in the relationship aspect, it's just natural, I believe, for the man to take charge.
But you know what? What reminded me of what he said. You have said even on the show so many times. It's attractive to you when a woman is in her feminine nature and is submissive to you and is catering to you because that's what's in her. So that kind of goes with what he said.
Yeah, that's her power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
her
like it.
power. Yeah.
That was nice.
All right, so this is part of the segment where we do final thoughts. You can say whatever you want to say for the public, yourself, promote. Did you like the show? Did you not like the show? Did you have a problem with what I said? How was your experience?
Yeah, this is my first time actually on the podcast, and I appreciate you for introducing me to a new realm, and I can't wait to see what it's like when it's on the web and watching us. And this, we had a beautiful conversation. And I love what you guys are doing here, and I want to give you guys your flowers.
Appreciate you.
I want to give you your flowers
Thank you so much.
doing so much episodes and just keeping it going and just putting a voice out there. I also want to get back to what I was saying in the beginning of what with my nonprofit organization, also my wealth and life business. What we're doing is helping everybody get a business credit, LLCs, business credit, getting funding up to $50,000 to $100,000 to start and develop their own business and try to get things going for themselves, letting them know that people might think this credit is something to show off. You know what I'm saying? But credit is something that you can leverage for actual liquid cash and actual start a business and do things. Exactly. So I wanna, if you tune in to Instagram, Prince Kelz, I'm gonna start more on explaining to people on how you can change your life with credit. And credit, it's a lot easier to get approved for $100,000 than to save $100,000. So all my people's out there trying to stack it, make it to $100,000. It's an easier way out there. It's easier to get approved than to save it. I'm pretty sure you guys been trying for a long time, but there's another way, and I want to help you. I want to help you guys get approved rather than you putting your life in danger, risking your freedom to try to save it in your time, because most of the idea is trading time for wealth. They say you don't get rich fast, well, you don't get rich slow.
That's true.
You get rich 100%.
fast. Now, where, let's say the viewers are like, shit, I want to hit them up one more time. Where can they reach you?
It's at Prince Kelz, PrinceKelz.
All together?
Yes, at Prince Kelz on Instagram. It's the fastest way to get me.
Nice.
Good. My final thoughts are I'm a big believer in energy and spirituality. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, and I believe that people are put in our paths for a reason. This microphone is getting me mad. So I didn't know that you were spiritual. Also, we have a couple of spiritual shows that are coming up that I think you would fit perfectly in because your way of thinking. My ancestors don't want me to talk anymore. I think that would be fantastic if we could have you back on again, and your views were completely different. Like the way you explained it, I think that's fantastic, and I thank you for coming on the show.
It was a pleasure. I love just communicating. Like I said, just bringing love back into the world, to Rastafari. One love under Jah. It's all one love under Jah, Allah, God, Jesus. It's just one love. So if we come into situations where we just have our hearts on our sleeves and open and trust and just I trust that you're gonna do right by me. I trust that you're gonna do right by you. Then I feel like the world will just be a better place. You know, I feel like
Mhm.
everybody had
Do their
genuine
part.
feelings and genuine thoughts, and I feel like that's why it could just this conversation went well and it just worked so much.
Yeah, I was saying something along those lines last show. You know, depending on what you gone through, especially a heartbreak, don't let it change you.
Yes.
So if you're someone that wears their heart on their sleeve, like give that. You know, your karma is good
Mhm.
with God, you know, in whatever fashion, you know, to help you reap that benefit or get back what you feel like you lost.
Exactly.
I appreciate you coming through. You know, you're always enlightened. You always been like that
Yeah.
since I
Really?
known you. I'm very conscious. Um, you know, so I'm happy that you finally got to be here. We were trying to do this for a while,
Yes.
you know.
Last
So I
Christmas,
also
yes.
appreciate you coming through because you do work a lot,
Yes.
you
Always
know.
busy.
So that's that. But as far as my final thoughts go, we gotta learn ourselves. This is part of the healing. So when you do get in a relationship, you can state those boundaries. Like you were saying, you know, my strength is space. You're comfortable enough to articulate that to somebody you want to build with. So when you're leaving for space, she doesn't think it's toxic or he's abandoning me because she might have abandonment issues she doesn't want to talk about. She's embarrassed. She hasn't got to that part where she could be vulnerable. So you know yourself, you know what you want. And this is part of the healing. You come with love, and that's part of like healing. You know what I'm saying? Regardless how you're gonna be accepted or not accepted, you're still coming with Kelz, like you. You walk into a room, you don't switch up. You know, so I think that's very important. We always talk about healing accountability on this show. And part of us getting back into what you want today is to get back into that. You know what I'm saying? Go back into our DNA. And you know, we can know our ancestry, our family tree. And then when we actually go out there to connect, you know, it's better. You know what I'm saying? One of the reasons why relationships don't work today is it's not miscommunication, it's not trust and all that. The summary is we don't know ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know ourselves. We don't know our love language. Like that's might be a love language of yours. We don't know our love language, and we don't feel comfortable articulating that to the opposing person for them to understand as well. So we're not coming here authentic. We're trying to. We're like liking each other or building our love language for superficialities.
Yeah.
Shit that we know, like you wouldn't value me for that for real. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't value me for that for real. But it's like we're not coming authentic. But we all want love and we all want real stuff. Even those people who gone through those heartbreaks and are like, oh fuck love, and they don't really mean that. That's them being emotional.
The Lil Wayne song, How to Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song.
They're being emotional. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing is knowing yourself. That's
Yep.
healing.
I agree.
You know, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, you were tuned in to one of the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, real Discipline Therapy podcasts. Peace.